We've all heard the law of attraction. The promise sounds elegant. Visualize what you want, raise your frequency, and the universe delivers. For years, I tried to manifest my way to success. Vision boards, affirmations, sunrise intention rituals. But here's what nobody tells you: the universe doesn't listen to wishes, it mirrors motion. For a long time, I believed leadership meant giving more. More ideas, more time, more advice. I poured myself into every meeting, every crisis, and yet my team waited for me to move first. One evening, my CFO walked in with a problem. Halfway through her first sentence, I jumped in with solutions. She stopped and said, Rajesh, do you actually want to hear what I have to say, or are you just waiting to fix me? That hit hard. In that moment, I realized something simple. Energy only flows when it moves both ways. That's the law of reciprocal motion. And it explains why most vision boards fail. Newton's third law says, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. You can't push without being pushed back. You can't pull without being pulled toward. Motion isn't extraction, it's exchange. In business, the same law applies. When you hoard value, ideas, credit, control, you create friction. When you circulate value, share power, co create outcomes, give credit, you create flow. Here's the principle: the universe doesn't accelerate extraction, it amplifies exchange. Opportunities orbit around reciprocity, not intention. This isn't spirituality, it's physics backed by data. Researchers at Carnegie Mellon studied high initiative entrepreneurs. Founders who built reciprocal ecosystems created 3.4 times more opportunities than those who operated in extraction mode. And Stanford's behavioral economists found something similar. Giving triggers reciprocal behavior in 83% of interactions. Extraction triggers withdrawal. Even your Ferrari doesn't accelerate alone. It needs friction with the road, the wind, the terrain. Velocity compounds only when energy moves in both directions. That's why vision boards fail. They're built around receiving. I will have this revenue. I will own this house. I will achieve this goal. All focused on taking, not circulating. But the universe doesn't reward hoarding, it rewards flow. Vision boards assume you can scale without serving, take without returning. Physics says otherwise. When energy stops moving, it stops everything around it. The shift isn't give more, it's designed for circulation. Instead of asking, what do I need? Ask, what flow am I part of? Build systems where giving naturally creates receiving, where collaboration multiplies value, where exchange happens by design, not by accident. That's mechanics over motivation. Momentum that sustains itself instead of draining you. Let me show you what this looks like when someone resigns for exchange. Gautam Ganglani runs Right Selection, a world-class events company. Global speakers, premium clients, incredible network. But growth had hit a wall. When we met, I asked, what if your Ferrari isn't meant to race alone? What if it accelerates when others accelerate with you? He smiled and everything changed. We redesigned the model. Create value before you ask for commitment. Co-create outcomes instead of selling attendance. Share the stage instead of owning it. Within a year, repeat business doubled. Partnerships multiplied. When Gautam stopped trying to extract value and started circulating it, momentum returned on its own. He didn't build generosity, he built architecture. Loops where energy moved naturally, where giving triggered receiving without effort. That's what steady velocity looks like when exchange replaces extraction. You're not stuck because the market isn't responding. You're stuck because you're trying to take without circulating. Every goal on your vision board says receive. but the universe only accelerates systems that exchange. Your team doesn't resist your vision, they resist being drained by it. Your clients don't avoid your offer, they avoid one way relationships. And when people see you holding too tightly to control or credit, they quietly pull away. Nobody wants to power a machine that only consumes. Freedom doesn't come from getting more, it comes from keeping energy in motion. Two questions. Take 10 seconds. One, where in your business are you holding or instead of circulating? Two, your vision board shows that you want to gain, but what would happen if every exchange you made gave as much as it took? That's the eighth law, reciprocal motion. And here's what happens when energy finally circulates and the system starts to move again. You realize something profound. Vision without movement is just a picture. And clarity doesn't come from thinking harder, it comes from moving differently. That's the ninth law, kinetic vision. Why you can't steer a parked Ferrari. Let's take a moment with this. There are Santa Claus, vision boards, plus blind faith, plus wishful thinking, all waiting for magic. This is where most of us still get stuck, waiting for something outside of us to move what only action can move. So look at the questions on the screen. Where are you passively waiting for magic instead of taking massive action? And as you reflect on this law, think about where that pattern shows up for you. Take a minute each to share with your partner what comes up.